Alright, hi Mr. Michael. My name is Sarah Smith. I'm from the University of Southern Mississippi. I'm a student nurse today. I was sent in just to do a quick assessment on you. It's going to take about 7 to 10 minutes. Does that sound okay?
Yes, that's fine.
Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and perform my hand hygiene really quickly. Can I go ahead and see your wrist, and can you let me know your name and date of birth?
Michael Amarante, March 7th, 1961.
Okay, awesome. So when I walked in, I noticed that you didn't have any lesions, that you were not distressed, your skin wasn't wet or sweaty or moist or anything like that. Your AP diameter of your chest and when you were your respiratory rate wasn't super fast, you weren't tachycardic, and you didn't seem super stressed out or anything like that. I didn't notice any venous distension, any varicose veins, or just anything that would give me a sign that when I did your cardiovascular respiratory assessment that it would be abnormal.
Okay.
So I'm just going to also go ahead and start with your respiratory assessment, and I'm going to palpate your chest, and then after that I'm going to assess your respiratory rate and then listen to your heart sounds. I mean, not your heart sounds, your respiratory sounds first. So I'm going to go ahead and palpate. And are you experiencing any tenderness or anything like that?
No.
Okay, so I'm just palpating for crepitus. And that seems to be normal. So then I'm just going to go ahead and assess your respiratory rate for about 30 seconds and multiply it by 2. And then that'll let me know what it'll be for a minute and everything like that. So today, are you experiencing any pain as well?
No.
Oh, okay. So you're just coming in for your annual checkup?
Yes. Yeah.
Everything like that? Okay. Good. Okay, so your respiratory rate was at about 8. So that's for 30 seconds. So for about a minute, it would be around 16. You want it to be around 12 to 24, so that's just right. So now we're going to go ahead and listen to your respiratory sounds. Just for for this video, usually when you're listening to your patient's respiratory sounds, you don't want to listen over clothing. You don't want it to seem like crackles or wheezes or any false or abnormal sounds that wouldn't be there. So today we're going to listen anteriorly and posteriorly to your respiratory sounds. I'm going to get you to just take a deep breath and a deep breath out. Okay, and everything on your anterior side sounded normal, and I'm going to listen posteriorly. Okay, and your breathing sounds sound great. It didn't sound like your respiratory sounds. It didn't sound like you had any fluid in your lungs, any wheezing, anything that would be congesting towards you. So your respiratory health looks pretty great. So now we're going to go ahead and move to the cardiovascular assessment. So we're going to go ahead. We have your peripheral and your central pulses. So your peripheral is going to be your radial, your brachial, your popliteal, your dorsalis pedis, and then your posterior tibialis. We're going to just be feeling 3 today that I want to palpate, just to see if they're bounding and normal and just strong, just like your respiratory sounds were. So I'm going to listen to I'm going to palpate your radial, which is good, and you just want to make sure they're not absent or slow, because that would mean that there would be decreased blood flow and oxygen, which wouldn't be good. But just within the inspection, I also noticed that you didn't have any pallor or cyanosis, and then I'm just going to go ahead and palpate right here. Okay, so then that also looks good. And then just for our central pulses, you would do your femoral, your carotid, and that's what you would do. So today we're going to listen to your heart sounds. We're going to be listening to your aortic and your pulmonic, and then we're going to listen to the apical pulse, and that's one of your essential ones. So it's apical and your femoral and your carotid. So first we're going to go ahead and listen to your aortic and pulmonic, and then your Erb's point, tricuspid, mitral, tricuspid, and then mitral. So those are just like your different cardiac sounds and pulses where we would want to listen around your heart. Okay, and that seems to be very bounding, and I'm going to get you to lean forward just so I can check for any murmurs to see if I feel any pushing. At your aortic and pulmonic valves. And I didn't hear anything abnormal. And now I'm also going to go ahead and assess your apical pulse really quickly and see if that's normal. Okay, and it was very strong, and it was about 70 beats per minute, so that's very good. You want it to be around 60 to 90 to 60 to 100, so 70 is just about right. So now I'm just going to have you lay on your left side for me, and I'm going to listen with a Bellamite stethoscope to listen to see if you have any S3 or S4 sounds. That's not very... You usually have that with murmurs. It's not very super common in adults. Maybe if I was listening to a child, it may be a little bit more normal, but it wouldn't be abnormal. It would be abnormal finding for an adult. Okay, and I didn't hear anything that was abnormal, any S3 or S4 sounds. So now, since you're already laying down, I'm going to go ahead and do our abdominal gastrointestinal assessment. I'm going to go ahead and ask you a couple questions. So for your bowel sounds and bowel habits, would you say that your stool is probably, fed normal bowel formed, not diarrhea, brown, not black or tarry or red blood, anything like that? Okay.
That's good.
Awesome, so I'm just going to have you lay supine, and we're going to go ahead and lift your shirt up, and when assessing a patient, I'm going to go up and assess and inspect their abdomen. I want to see if it looks firm, distended, anything like that. I don't want to palpate it because I don't want to disturb any bowel sounds that I would have. I don't want to have any false or abnormal bowel sounds. So I'm going to go ahead and auscultate on each quadrant first, and then I'm going to palpate.
Okay.
So we have in your upper right quadrant, we have your liver, your pancreas, and your gallbladder, and then you have your left upper quadrant, and you have your, that's where you're going to have your spleen and your pancreas and your liver, and then down here in your right lower quadrant, that's where you're going to have your appendix, your cecum, your rectum, your descending colon, and then over here to your left lower quadrant, you're going to have your bladder and more of your descending colon and parts of your stomach. And now I'm just going to go ahead and all schools hate and listen. So a normal finding in an adult, we would want to, and even also in children, you want to have about 5 to 34 vowel sounds in a minute. So we're just going to go ahead and listen. Okay, and that sounded to be about right. You had normal vowel sounds. They weren't hypoactive. They weren't hyperactive. You didn't have too many. So then your gastrointestinal system is working pretty well.
Okay.
So we're gonna just have you. I'm gonna have you stand up, and then I'm gonna have you walk back and forth, for me. Yeah.
All
Yeah,
right.
just walk back and forth for me. And then I'm going to have you come stand right here. And I'm just going to have you just do some circulatory motions, kind of like this. And with your arms, I want to just check your range of motion and your strength. So you would say with your activities of daily living, you're not really limited on what you do. You don't have
Nope.
any problem walking, going down the stairs, walking around your house, or eating or anything like that.
Nope.
Okay, well,
Good.
awesome. Well, I saw while you were walking that your posture was well, so then you're not limited with that, and you're healthy and pretty much good to go. Is there anybody else that you'd like me to
Nope,
voice
that
these
is it.
findings
Thank
to? Okay, awesome. Thank you so much, Mr. Michael, and I hope you have a good day.